Good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, August the 13th. Got it right first time. And my microphone is broken. Well, it's not broken. I am. I plugged it into the wrong thing and it just doesn't work anymore. It's been that kind of day. But I've got something fun for you today. Something really special. Something that makes me wish I had started preparing for this about 2 months earlier than I did, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to take you on a trip today in just a little while. A couple of things I want to tell you about first. The second best trip ever, after the one I'm going to be talking about, is the picnic in Peoria. That's the first annual Midwestern Macro Picnic right here in Peoria, Illinois, on September the 7th, which is a month from now, minus a couple of days. So we've got about a dozen people coming, and it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. If you can't make it because you're banned from Illinois for lifetime, or you just failed your driver's test for the 37th time, or any reason that you have that you can't make it, you'll still be able to watch it on television. Hopefully not on like the news or anything like that, but you'll be able to watch it by watching the live stream that we do. We'll probably do a live stream and record bits of it so that we can put together a video for those of you who couldn't come to this one, so that you will come to the next one. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you everybody that's signed up. If you didn't sign up but you're absolutely determined to come, just get in touch with me. I think we can probably manage. Okay, so that's that. I can't read anything that I wrote today because I was writing in a rush. Do you ever write in a rush and it seems pretty legible when you write? And yeah, I don't know what any of this next paragraph says. Nope. I'm down 3 lines into it, and I've only come up with coming across. No. Anyway, I was in the process of rebuilding my rig. You know that after the move, it turns out that a lot of things were either broken or just destroyed completely or lost. And it seems that a lot of those things were from my rig, which is odd, seeing as I carried that in the back of my car. But no matter, I'm building a new one. And I need a new one for a bunch of different reasons. I was using a recycled antique thing that I rebuilt 100 times. This time I'm doing it right. I'm talking to some folks, hopefully, that will be interested in working with me to get some of the materials that I need, because it can be a little on a steep side. And as you know, the YouTube life is not one of luxury, though you will think it is at the end of tonight's show, I can assure you. But anyway, if I can work that out, then what I am going to do is build the rig that people come to me and say, if you're only going to build one rig, if you're just going to build one and get it done right the first time, would you show us how to do that? That's what I am going to do. We'll probably do it over a series of live streams. We'll deal with lighting one time, and the motion another time, and the setting up your tethering and all that. We'll do it over a period of a few live streams, and we'll probably do a video as well to sum it all up. But it's going to be a pretty big deal build. It's going to be, yeah, I'm not going to say anything else about it. It's just hopefully coming as soon as possibly even next week. And I will walk you through every decision that I make in putting this together, why I do what I do, and I'll explain it and justify everything to you. And I'll give you a hint that part of it is going to involve a microscope focus block for high magnification stuff. So, exciting stuff, exciting stuff. Did you hear the rumor that I have yet to have corroborated, that my friend Jeff at Light Glass Optics in New Mexico is going out of business? Apparently they ran out of Mitutoyo 5X objectives, and it's ruined their business. It's either that or he's just sick of it. I don't know. I wrote to him, haven't heard back yet, but yeah, so I don't know any of this for a fact, but if in fact he is packing it in, he's probably having a sale because he's got a lot of stuff there that he probably wants to move along. So now would be a time to go by and say Alan sent you. And yeah, see what he's got. Ask him for a good price on something. I bet he'll give it to you. Nice guy. I hate to see he's going out of business. But there you go. As soon as I know more, I will let you know. Nope, don't know what number 4 is. Nope, don't know what any of that is. This was probably going to be quite interesting because some of the words look promising. Yep. Okay, we'll just skip over that one too. Nope. Can't do this one either. It says old microscope, so I'm going to take a guess that I was going to talk about how you go about setting up an old microscope focusing block to use as a high precision, high magnification focus stacking device. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing that for Bill. Many thanks to Bill for letting me cut my teeth on his microscope. It's finished. It's finished over there in the finished rack, but I have 2 more on the way because not only do I have the one that I'm going to be working on with Harold, but I'm also going to be working on Bud's microscope. So we'll have 2 that are going through the same process, which is wonderful because any issues we find in one, we probably won't find in the other. So that's going to start much sooner than anticipated, and those videos will come out as they're ready. It's going to be a step-by-step all the way through the process from the get-go to the end. I'll show you how to paint it even. Yeah, it's going to be fun and exciting if you're into that kind of thing. If you have ever wanted to do micrography or microscopy, if you've ever wanted to take pictures of really tiny things with a microscope, but you've always thought that was kind of out of your comfort zone because of the money factor of having to have a big microscope and everything, this is the solution. This can be done for less than a focus rail, considerably less. You can buy a $50 microscope that doesn't work with no optics and the electronics and a motor. The motor you can get for $37, and the controller is the only thing that you might have to pay $100 for. But when all is said and done, if you don't mind putting in a little bit of work, you can have a 1/10 of a micron accurate stepper device at the end of that. And I'll show you how to do it this summer. And I am looking forward to it. All right, so many thanks, both to Bud and to Harold for that. That's going to be fun. The other thing that I've been working on, it seems for almost an eternity, it seems possibly a little more than an eternity, is the cross polarizer. And I mentioned briefly last week that I had built the whole thing and printed it and assembled it, only to discover a fatal flaw in the locking mechanism. I thought I'd fixed it, and I have kind of fixed it, but I need to fix it with a slightly bigger fixing thing than the one I had. That didn't make any sense, did it? Have you ever seen those things on your medicine cabinet in the bathroom? Do you have one of those? It's a very old-fashioned concept, but if you do, the door stays shut when you shut the door because of a thing. And that thing it's a little can with a spring in it and a ball in there. And the ball can't get out of the can, but the spring's trying to push it out. So the result is you have a ball pushing out of this little can that they bury in the door. And then there's a little metal cavity in the other part of not the door, whatever that's called. And then when the ball, you know all this, don't you? But when the ball slides into that cavity, it pops out and holds the door shut. Right, okay, very good. But what I'm making, it's tiny. It's just this size. And the door is only a little bit of that, tiny little bit of that. So how do you do that? Well, turns out you use these, which are for Munchkin's medicine cabinets, or smaller, possibly fairies medicine cabinets, but they actually work on this. So I've got to install them, and that's going to take a bit longer than drawing the whole thing 15 times took. But yeah, at least we have a solution that I'm working on. So, exciting stuff. If you're one of the people, you probably already, due to old age, have lost your memory about this event, seeing as a long time ago you were fine, but now you can't remember anything, and you probably don't remember I'm sending you one. But if you do, sorry about the delay again, but yeah, I'm working on it. Did you know I'm busy a lot? I am. I stay busy. All right. Alistair's name shows up here, but I don't know what it's about. Yeah. Nope. Don't know what that is. So yeah, again, this sounds like another interesting one, but if it comes to me, I'll let you know later. My studio is not finished yet, but I had a super productive day a couple of days ago where I got everything kind of moved out of the way and into stacks and ready to start sorting through, and that's a good sign. From there it goes a lot faster. So I'm hoping that within maybe about a week I'll be able to give you guys a limited look at the place, and then by the picnic time it'll definitely be ready for those of you who are coming who want to actually see down here. You'll be shocked at how much room there is, and you know how cool it's looking. So anyway, the key here is that will mean I can get back to taking pictures, which I have not been doing, and it's driving me absolutely bonkers not taking pictures, as you can imagine. It's difficult for me not to take pictures, and yeah, that's why I'm all fired up about doing this new build. Can't wait to show you some of the stuff I've got for it. Let me tell you about tonight. As soon as I check to make sure that there aren't any super chats or anything like that. Wow, everybody's here. David, Bruce, good to see you again, sir. Zeno's here, and Alistair, Gary, Joseph, all the usual crowd. I'm willing to bet that Phil's here, and Susan's here, and Arthur's here somewhere. Yes. And Pedro, good evening. Pedro, you are from down in that hunting part of Florida, right? Am I remembering correctly? Some kind of hunting club is the name of your town, I think. You might not know that, but I seem to recall that. Okay, I will go back and see what you guys were going on about when it comes to pizza, because I'm starving. And greetings to Amy and Bud, both who are here. So we have a full complement of bouncers tonight. Means you need to be on your very best behavior, because they get a bit trigger happy when there's 3 of them. So just don't want them ganging up on you. Did I mention there was a Pazoom this weekend? Probably didn't, because it was probably one of the things I couldn't read. I'm almost certain it was. We're doing a Pazoom. We're going to do a couple more introductions. We're in the process of introducing ourselves, but we're also going to carry on from what I talk about the first 2 live streams this week, which are 2 different takes on destination travel, tourism, and how it fits with macro photography. Today is just fun. I want you to use your imagination, just relax and think about what this would be like. And on Thursday, I'm going to get back to real life and tell you how I personally like to screw up all of my foreign travel. I've got 10 key tips for you that will guarantee you nothing but misery the whole time you're abroad. So that'll be a more serious one. And then on Saturday, we're going to get input from the gathered crowd at the Patreon folks that come to the Pazoom meeting, who are going to share with us their travel stories, and I'll share some of mine. So I don't know where this came from. I was sitting in this dark dungeon in Peoria, and the need to travel, to go somewhere, just came over me all of a sudden. Anywhere, just up to the light. But anyway, the fact was I got to thinking about a trip, And it struck me that a really, really cool macro-themed holiday would not only be impossible because of the time it takes and the cost of it and everything, but it would be nice. It would be very, very nice. So I thought, well, I'll just put together that holiday and get help where I need it to fill in blanks, and then we'll talk about it today. That was my plan when it came over me. And then I started doing some research. I started listing the places I wanted to go or the things that I wanted to photograph. And then I just had this crazy idea. You've got 30 days. At the end of 30 days, you have to give the credit cards back. But for the 30 days that you have them, you can use them for whatever you want related to this trip. 30 days. You have to be back home in 30 days. But on day one, they'll pick you up in a limousine, presumably, something like that, and they'll take you to your aeroplane, which will be the one that Mike sent me the other day. He didn't actually send me the plane. He would have done if he had an extra one, but he just sent me a video about it. It's the Gulfstream 17 or something. It's just amazing. Well, that's what we have for the 30 days. And it's all yours. The pilot has already been spoken to, and he knows where we're going. In 30 days, we're going to visit 15 iconic sites to take 15 macro photographs. And I am going to tell you where we're going, where we're staying, what we're going to eat for dinner that first night, and what we're going to photograph. And if we can't find what we're photographing, I'll tell you what our backup is. Now, there is so much amazing stuff at any one of these locations that I could talk for a full hour just about it, or even 2 hours about the target subject. So it's going to be very important that if you get into this and you're thinking, my God, that does sound like something I'd like to do, not the 30 days thing, but if you hear about a place that you really would want to go to, everything that I've done, all of the research will be in a separate article I'll put on my website, because it's going to be long and it's going to have lots and lots of links. Okay, none of them will be to actually get a plane. You have to do that on your own. But I guess I could call Gulfstream and see if they're interested in do they have affiliate marketers at Gulfstream? I think probably not. But anyway, it might be worth a try. So we got 15 days to go 15 places. Now, this is where I got some help. I got in touch with my dear friend over at ChatGPT. Her name is Chat. And I asked her, we've got a problem. I promised this trip to my friends. I've suddenly become fabulously wealthy, and I have the new plane and everything, and I'm taking this trip, and we only have 30 days, and I've got 15 places I want to go, but they're all over the world. Can you help me with the itinerary? And what she did was, because she's really, really smart, is she took the itinerary and then decided on the order of flights based on the times that I would be at the next location in reference to the subject that I was shooting. So she wouldn't have me in Ecuador at 5 o'clock in the evening when I'm there to shoot a moth that only comes out at 6 o'clock in the morning. So she took all that into account, and then had me fly from destination to destination that would have me flying in the least jet lagging leg of each flight, and timing it so that I could sleep at night and wouldn't have to waste time sleeping during the day. I checked her on this, and it really is, I can't imagine how you could have done this any better, because it's absolutely nailed it, spot on from the minute you leave till you get back home. She thought it was very funny that at the very end, on day 16, she said, rest, travel and rest. She never uses the word rest anywhere in this whole itinerary that she made up for me. So you get picked up and you're going to go to your local airport where people will just drool at the sight of your brand new aeroplane with Alan Wall's photography emblazoned on it. That was my idea. Yep. I thought that would be nice. And we're off to South America. First step, Ecuador, to the Yuzuni National Park. We're going to get there in the late morning, possibly early afternoon, and we're going to be staying at La Selva. It's actually an eco lodge. I almost said econo lodge. It's a spa. It's very, very fancy. You've got to look these places up. It's La Selva Amazon Eco Lodge and Spa. Fantastic. And we're there to photograph one of the strangest symbiotic relationships. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share my screen with you guys so that you... What I did was I opened up a couple of pages on browser windows just so that you would know what I was talking about and wouldn't have to look at my excited face during this whole thing. But some of it I'm going to have to type in, and I'm a very, very slow typer, but you understand that. So the first thing we're going to go look at is myrmecophytes. Does that sound right? Some of these I may not be pronouncing right. Surprise, surprise. So let's have a look at them so you know what I'm talking about. Sorry about that. Microphone problems on all the channels, so yeah, should be working now. All right, good. So it's a relationship between these ants and these plants. They live together with this symbiosis, whereby the plants feed the ants, provide them with medicine and shelter, and the ants take care of all kinds of things for the plants. And you may have seen this on television lately, because there was a program about it that I think was worldwide. It's absolutely fascinating, and that's where you're going to get started. It's a fairly easy one because they're all over the place, so it shouldn't be too hard for you to find the acacias and whatever else you need to be looking at to shoot them. And our backup subject is the red postman butterfly, Heliconius erato. Should we look it up? I think I will. I'll just give it a quick... I can do that if I'm quick. Heliconius... gives... Oh, yeah, there you go. That'll do. Yeah, oh, that's pretty. Yep, there you go. Red postman butterfly. So, yeah, that will be a secondary one. And we're staying at that really nice eco lodge I told you about. Oh, and I asked, what were we going to have for dinner that night, or every night, actually. And yeah, she's come up with some really... I can't find my cursor. Ah, there it is. She's come up with some really weird sounding stuff. But the first dish is secco de chivo. It's a traditional goat stew cooked with beer and narangula, which is a local fruit, and spices, and it's served with rice or plantains. So secco de chivo is our first meal in Ecuador. You won't have long to eat it, because we're going to be directly off across the Atlantic. No, back up to further up north, South America, to Brazil. I thought we were going to Portugal, but no, we're going to Brazil for day 2. So that's only a relatively short flight. We'll get there in the early morning so we can avoid the midday heat, she told me, which is very thoughtful, I thought. And we're going to be staying at the Cayman Ecological Refuge. Yeah, sounds very nice. Cayman's a man-eating alligator type device, and yeah, it's a refuge for them, so you'll be sharing a bed with them. The primary subject is one thing I have always wanted to photograph, really have, and I'm going to show it to you, because you may have already photographed one of these, but it is this, the Agrius claudina. It's an absolutely stunning Claudina agrius butterfly. It's blue, orange, and it's really rare. But apparently, if you're going to find one, you'll find it in Brazil. Look at those hind wings on the thing. Just fantastic looking. Lovely, lovely butterfly. So that's the primary. If you can't find one, then we're going for a Telocroza oscillata. It's a leaf mimicking katydid, as if you didn't know. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. This is when I really do wish I'd followed my friend Rick's advice and learned how to type. Where's the O? As you can see, I haven't yet learned how to type. So Telocroza oscillata. See how, if I had a person who knew computers, who could sit and do this for me on the computer, I could just keep talking and the pictures would be up there already. That's what we need to do. There you go. It's a peacock katydid, Telocroza oscillata. And that's in, you'll never guess where it is. It's in our national park that we're going to, the Yazuni National Park. So it's a small world. We'll see all of these peacock thingies down there. All right, did you want to know what was for dinner? I did, because I am still actually pretty hungry. And for dinner on the second night is piranha soup. Yeah, sorry, Joseph. That's what it is. I'm assuming you don't care for that. A flavorful soup made from the famously fearsome piranha, a local delicacy, often enjoyed in the Pantanal. Yeah, it's good unless it eats you first. If your soup's not completely dead, it could bite your tongue off. Don't like the sound of that. If your tongue survives and the bleeding has stopped, then we have to hop on the plane for a short flight, which we'll do that afternoon, to Costa Rica, because we're going to the Monteverde cloud forest. And our photography window on this, it's day 5 now. We've only been gone 5 days. It's we have the cloud forest kind of covers up all the direct light, so it's good to shoot any time during the day. And we're going to be staying at El Establo Mountain Hotel, which is it's a luxurious place, absolutely gorgeous. You've got to see it. You've got to see it. Like, I haven't been to any of these places. They don't have a Super 8 there, so I wouldn't be going. But I will look it up, the picture for you. Who's going to come on this trip with me? I mean, it's going to be fantastic. What do you think it's going to cost? Let me show you a picture. Yeah, that's pretty. So we should do that as a contest, a competition. Guess how much this trip's going to cost? Well, it's very nice. Looks like my old apartments, to be honest. Probably a bit more expensive than that, though. Okay, well, what are we there to photograph? We're there to photograph probably one of the most famous and sought-after butterflies in creation, which is the Morpho butterfly. This is the Morpho Pallidis, Palliides. Pronounce it any way you wish. You have a private Gulf Stream out there. You can call it whatever you want. So let's look at Morpho and see. Yeah, you're not going to get much prettier than that. They are stunning butterflies. Even the ones that aren't stunning are stunning. That's the other variety. But yeah, they have dimorphism and show up in different patterns like that. So that's what we're looking for, is Morpho Pallidis, blue Morpho butterfly. Stunning thing. And if we can't find it, then, well, if we can't find it, I'm not going to photograph anything, but the rest of you guys can go and photograph Philobates, We'll hire somebody to pronounce these names for you. Terribilis, which is why you're going to go photograph it and I'm not. There it is. $70 Canadian dollars in stock. Yep. So order yourself one when it comes. Don't open the box. Don't touch it. Whatever you do, it's deadly poisonous, tiny, gorgeous, rare, hard to find, impossible to photograph, and deadly poisonous. So let me know how that part goes. Show me the picture if you wish. And you'll be staying at the El Establo Mountain Hotel, as we talked about. And for breakfast, the day we leave, you can enjoy a nice, light, flavorful gallo pinto, which is a hearty breakfast dish of rice and beans mixed with spices, served with eggs, cheese, and tortillas. That sounds absolutely horrible. I mean, really. I may unsubscribe from 4.0. Day 4, we have got a long flight from Costa Rica all the way to Canada, where we can look forward to our dinner that night, which is going to be a juicy Alberta bison steak. Made from locally sourced bison. Otherwise it would be called an Alabama bison steak or something else. But no, it's Alberta bison steak served with root vegetables and a rich sauce. And we'll have that right before we crash at our hotel, which is the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, which looks like a dump. A nice dump, but yeah, there you go. We'll be shooting in the early morning and early evening, and we're going after Megalopyge or Percularis, which is, it's a furry moth. I mean a caterpillar. It turns into a moth. You want to see it? It's almost as unimpressive as the hotel. I have a feeling that they're pulling my leg about this Canada part of the trip, but yeah. So there it is. It's that. Well, that's the moth. It's the larva that's furry looking. So it's covered in hair and it looks like a Persian cat, and it's called Puss. Okay, that does not look like a cat to me. It looks like a maggot in a tree that's hairy, but not at all like a cat, though I'm not a cat expert. But that's what we've just flown 7 hours at 51,000 feet for, is to photograph that, so you better enjoy it. It's the flannel moth caterpillar. It's highly venomous, just in case you were thinking you would cuddle with it when you got back to the Fairmont Jasper, but you won't be. If we can't find that or lose interest looking, then we'll go for a Sympetrum danaea. It's a black darter dragonfly. It's black, it stands out, but you know, I'd already be pretty tired of Canada by now because I'm a bit disappointed. Let's look it up though. Sympetrum, that sounds better. Sympetrum danaea. Yeah, very nice. It's a dragonfly. All right, so definitely this whole thing about going to Canada was a joke, because we've got those in Illinois and we had them in Alabama. So day 7 was a complete bust, but fortunately we've only got an 11-hour flight to get across the sea to my favorite place on earth, Iceland. We're going to the Vatnajökull National Park. That's probably not how they pronounce it. They probably have a lot of guttural, phlegmy sounding sounds in there. But that's when we're going. We're going for the, we've got long daylight hours. We'll be going in the summer because the temperature gets above 50 below zero in the summer. Not every day and not at night, but for hours during the day. We're staying at a place that I have actually stayed. A place where when I checked in, they handed me a bag and a key and told me where I had to go to take my clothes off so that I could go into the public area, which was, I didn't get that far. yeah, I stopped at the instructions. And more to my alarm, several people in my party did not stop and went ahead with this. But that's where we're staying, a place like that called the Blue Lagoon. Yeah, it's called a high-end, unique stay providing easy access to Iceland's natural wonders. No, it's a nudie swimming pool with hot water that smells like intestinal gas, to be honest. I mean, it's a pretty appalling. The whole island smells like that, though. But we're not there to complain about the smells. We're there to find Chlamydosalacus or Genius, which is the second place that chat kind of let me down a little bit, because that is in fact a shark. And I don't know, I must just assume that she doesn't do just a whole lot of macro photography, because it's been a long time since I actually photographed any kind of shark in my macro studio. It's an ugly shark. Why does that not surprise me, considering? Yeah, it's a hideous shark, and I am not going to shoot it. I'm not going to get anywhere near waters there that it would live in, because it's 100 times colder as you get closer to the sea, which is almost everywhere. So yeah, there is a backup subject, thank goodness. It's glacial ice textures. The intricate patterns and textures within ice offer endless macro photography possibilities. All right, now it was at this point that I realized that absolutely it was not taking me seriously. The computer program has learned how to joke and make fun of me, because yeah, I'm not going out to take pictures of ice so that I can then run back to the hotel and give them my clothes so that I can get in the swimming pool with everybody else. It sounds like a fever dream that you get when you have some kind of tropical illness. You'd think about things like this, I imagine. So day 9, thank God, is over, and it gets worse, because on day 11 we have to fly halfway across the northern half of the globe to get to the Lofoten Islands, which are Norwegian. Now, okay, that sounds okay. Norway sounds like a nice place to go if you go during the times that they have sunlight and warmth and things are growing. I'm not sure if we are, though, because we have to be there either very early in the morning or a little bit later than that, because then the sun goes down for the rest of the day. We're there to photograph Chrysalina cerealis, which I could photograph without leaving this chair once right now, because I have a bottle of them. They're leaf beetles, tiny little leaf beetles, and a friend of mine from the UK sent me a whole bottle of about 100 of them, and I've still got 97 of them left. So I say we skip days 7 through 11 and do something fun. We could go have our appendixes removed or something like that. But yeah, so we can go and photograph rainbow beetles. If we don't do it here, we can do it there. And these are exactly the same as the ones that I've got. They are gorgeous, no doubt about it. We'll be staying at the Mannhausen Island, which sounds like a retreat for the criminally unbalanced. Whenever a hotel is called an island, it makes you wonder, well, why isn't it on the land? Wouldn't that be more convenient? No, it's on an island. The secondary subject is interesting. I've never seen a Spheroporphia scripta, which is a long hoverfly. Should we look at that? Because I really have never seen that. I definitely can't spell it. Has everybody already quit and gone home and said, enough of this nonsense? We're not taking that trip, even if it is with the greatest macro photographer in the world, or with Alan, whoever can come. So yeah, this is too much writing here. Scripter. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, looks like a hoverfly with a big fat tail. I'll show it to you, but you'll be disappointed. You'll want to know why I bothered showing it to you. It's a hoverfly that its butt's a little too big for it to actually hover, so it just actually doesn't hover, it just sits on leaves. Yeah, okay, well that's what we went to Norway for. Getting a little bit disappointed, but not to worry. We have easy access to the rugged, beautiful landscapes of the Lofoten Islands, which I know will come in handy by the second day when yeah, we're ready to get back on the plane, I would imagine. And things are getting ready to look decidedly worse when dinner is served. It is, we're having stockfish, which is dried cod. That's a cod that has been cooked and it was available to eat when it was fresh, but now it is no longer fresh, but it is dry, like leather. And yeah, it's made in these islands because they couldn't have anything else, because they're in these islands in the north of nowhere and they need food. We have an aeroplane that's full of food. But no, we're going to instead have boiled potatoes and mustard sauce with our dried codfish. Then, when everybody's tummy is back down to normal, we pile back on the plane and head a long flight all the way to Tanzania, to the Ngorongoro, with a Gn at the front, Ngorongoro crater. Yep, we're going to a crater, and we're going early in the morning to avoid the heat and to capture animals at their most active. Nothing quite like a volcanic crater to make animals active. We're going after Pachnoda marginata, which is the sun beetle. It's vibrant and shiny, and you can find it in the grasslands near the crater when the volcano's not blowing up. I think we probably need to have a look at this because it's really not that impressive. I would not go near these things in the event of the volcano actually erupting. Go somewhere else a bit safer, because these definitely are nice looking beetles, but not worth the risk, honestly, of lava. It's just yeah, too much risk. The backup is actually a better looking creature, probably their nicest beetle, Heterorhina. Yeah, if anybody makes hateful comments about my typing or spelling, you're not coming on the trip. No, hang on, that's going to just guarantee comments. Oh, I photographed this guy just last year. That might be my photograph. Yeah, a flower chafer. Now that's Lizzle Harper's photograph. Very pretty beetles, yes. I wondered where that came from. It's from the Ngorongoro crater. We're staying at the Ngorongoro Crater Lodge, which is opulent with stunning views and easy access to wildlife. I think, in fact, it just wanders through your room. All the wildlife. I think that's the whole continent is a bit like that. I'm not sure. Could be. For dinner, I'm going to have Nyama Koma. That's not I am a coma or I am in a coma. That's the name of the dish. Nyama Koma. It's grilled meat, goat or beef. You'd think they would know the difference and could tell you, yeah, Nyama Koma is grilled goat. But no, it's either grilled goat or beef, and it's served with side dishes like the delicious ugali. Yeah, ugali, I had to look up, is a kind of porridge made from maize. Yeah, it does not sound delicious to me, but there you go. It might be. It might be a little bit like grits or possibly polenta, but it's not. It's ugali. Food that has a U at the beginning and G anywhere in the word is generally not tasty, I've found. And yeah, they do offer chapati with it instead, which is a flattened whole wheat bread. Delicious, and yeah, that would be nice. I'll just have the chapati. You can have my goat if you wish. Day 8 is a relatively short hop across some sea or other to get to Madagascar. On day 15, we're going to go late in the morning, early afternoon, because we're going to see the Bacona National Park at the Anasibi Mantadia. Okay, I'm going to try that again. Andasibi Mantadia National Park, and we're staying at the Bacona Forest Lodge, which I can say. We are going after one of the most fascinating creatures, and I really, really would love to photograph this thing. Have you ever heard of Uroplatus fantasticus? Nope. That's what we're going to photograph. And remember how much we paid for this trip. We're going to find us one of these things. This is either the front or the back, and this is the other part, front or back. This is the thing. Its full name is the Satanic Leaf-Tailed Gecko. I kid you not. Yep, Uroplatus fantasticus. It's known for its camouflage and for looking satanic and blending seamlessly into its environment. That's where they live. Yep, that's Madagascar. Yep, we'll be there. I don't see any runways, so this may be the one we have to parachute into. I do hope not. There is a backup, by the way, which I haven't looked up, but it does look interesting. It's Phasmatodia. Yeah, I think that's enough. That should be enough to find it. Well, no, they don't actually. It's just a big stick insect. Another thing that you could just grab one of when you're down in Alabama, really, if you look hard enough for them. They look a bit like sticks, so you might not find it, but it's not going to be any easier to find in Madagascar while you're being eaten by God knows what kind of bloodsuckers they have down there. So yeah, fortunately we'll be staying at the Bacona Forest Lodge, which is very nice. It's in the rainforest or within feet of it, so you'll have plenty of rare insect species sleeping with you and visiting you the whole time you're trying to rest. For dinner, how about Roma Zaba? Roma Zaba, national dish of Madagascar. It's a stew made, thank goodness, with something we all will recognize, zebu. Yeah, I don't know what a zebu is. It's apparently an ungulate. It has hooven feet, and yeah, they make Madagascan stew out of it. Leafy greens, flavored with ginger or garlic or strychnine. Yeah, so Roma Vaza will be your dinner. I'll probably be we're on day 15. I'll be 15 pounds down, I think, on my my weight for the trip, and it's getting ready to get a lot scarier because we're off to Papua New Guinea on day 17. Getting there in the morning, and we're headed to the Rondon Ridge. Papua New Guinea is where headhunters are from. I asked ChatGPT about this. I said, are you absolutely sure about this being a good place for us to go, to the Rondon Ridge, because of the headhunters? And she didn't say a word, just left it on the itinerary. So yeah, I think we're taking a bit of a risk. We're going after a butterfly, which seems trivial considering the risk, but it is Queen Alexandra's birdwing. Now, it's the world's largest butterfly, blah, blah, blah. It's found in rainforest, but I had heard that it was extinct. So, yeah, Maybe it's not. Maybe that's why you go there and risk certain death. The backup subject is the nudibranch, which absolutely would be worth not getting boiled in a pot for. No, but yeah, a little bit of discomfort maybe. You've seen nudibranchs, I'm sure. They're just quite beyond description. They're so gorgeous. I've only ever seen them in zoos and the like, but yeah, they are just stunningly beautiful. I would knock the extinct butterfly off the list and just go down to the seaside and photograph some of these. You'd need an underwater camera, but I guess if you just rented a Gulfstream 7 for the week, you can probably afford a new camera too. For dinner, moo. Yep, it's not just a childish way to pronounce cow. It's not stew. It's a traditional dish that's cooked in a hole in the ground. Yeah, that just doesn't sound good. It's got pork, sweet potatoes, and greens wrapped in banana leaves. Yeah, I guess the it's better than you. If the other item on the menu is you, you're better off go for the moo. Say yes, I'll have the moo, please. Day 10, we're off to the Daintree rainforest in Australia on day 19, and we are going in search of a rare orchid. I wonder if anybody actually does go in search of rare orchids to the tune of the $10,000 an hour the Gulfstream is going to cost if you don't even fly it. Yeah, it's an interesting question. So what you're looking for is Pracephalum rogersii. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of it, and I want you to be completely serious about whether or not this looks like see, there's no picture showing up. They also think it's not really that. I was just getting ready to say my computer's gone on the. Yeah, we have these things in Alabama, or something just like it. You wouldn't tell the difference. I mean, you might. It's the copper beard orchid, they call it, a rare orchid. It's an invisible orchid too, as you can see here from this detailed photograph. I think we'll get off this site. It's doing something to the computer. So we just went all the way to Australia to look at a rare orchid. Fortunately, there is a backup subject which looks more interesting, Macrothemis. At least it's got a good name for it. Yeah, Pseudolimitata. Yeah, okay, it's a dragonfly. It's a dragonfly. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, that was a 23-hour flight, even on the Gulfstream, and it's a scarlet dragonfly. Yeah. So, are you one of those people that was concerned about the end of the world because of AI? Yeah, you're okay. You're okay for now. Silky Oaks Lodge. It's a 5-star experience. It's in the Daintree forest, offering all kinds of luxury access to mosquitoes. And the dinner is a piece of fish. You can have a piece of barramundi, which is, yes, it's very nice. It's prized. It's delicious, pan-fried, lemon butter. Yeah. Forget about it. I'm not flying a full day to get a piece of cod and a dragonfly. No. We've only got 4 more, but I have exactly no more minutes, so I'll have to go fast. Number 11, day 21, New Zealand, the Fiordland National Park. This sounds fantastic. We'll be there in the morning through the evening. We'll be staying at the Fiordland Lodge, and we are going after Peripatoides Nova Zealandii. Oh, for crying out loud. Latin for New Zealand. There was no New Zealand when people were writing in Latin. I think we'll just look it up under Peripatoides. Peripatoides, that sounds good. And yeah, it's a worm, and it doesn't even look nice. It just looks gross. There you go. It's a blackish brown wormy worm. It's a prehistoric creature. It's got weird hunting methods, and it looks like a big water slug. The brown mantid fly is your backup. This is going to be the worst selection of photographs you're going to be bringing back to show your friends. Let's look at the. Let's look at this. Well, okay, all right. That would be worth flying to New Zealand for. That is the brown mantid fly. That looks crazy. It's a wasp with giant claws. That is the stuff of nightmares. So we'll stay there at the Fjordland Lodge, have a dish of power for dinner. It's a native shellfish. It's abalone is what it is, served as a fritter. It's like, have you ever had chewing gum that you've chewed all day long till it becomes hard, and only it's flavored with fish? That's the abalone, and it comes as a fritter, so it's fried, so it's also hard and chewy. And yeah, it's a way to showcase the rich marine life of New Zealand, is to catch it and deep fry it. Okay, day 23, we're off to Japan, which actually is not that far from New Zealand, only half a day or something in the air. Your blood clots are doing better by now. So day 23, we check into the Sankara Hotel and Spa so that we can rest up before we head out to find the Jigoku Magura. What, Alan, is a Jigoku Magura? No idea. It's a mole of some kind. No, it's an anime character, according to my computer, so I don't think we have to worry about that. It's a rare endemic, and it's best to shoot them down in their tunnels, so you have to actually dig holes and go tunneling to find them. Let me know how that goes. That's Jigoku Magura, the Yakushima moles. And there is not a single picture of them, because they're all taken over by anime characters with the same name. For dinner, let's assume for a minute that you weren't able to find an Acanthocyclides macrothalamus, which is the giant-eyed weevil. The backup is a weevil. Excuse me, we're going to run over, but I am not going to skip looking at the only weevil she came up with. Acan. Now I'm nervous because you never know, this might be the weevil that I fly to Japan to see. Elides macro, and I'll just stop it there. Alright, so let's see. Is this worth the trip? Absolutely not. Absolutely not worth the trip. Okay. I'm terribly disappointed. We went all the way to Japan, and it's just a little brown beetle. Okay. Dinner, though, is going to be black pork, kurobuta, black pork. Specialty of the region, known for its steep price and rich flavor. It's served with, it's breaded and deep fried, just like your abalone was. Yeah. Do you think ChatGPT never really was a human at all, even for a day? Indonesia is day 25. You go to Raja Ampat, where we'll be staying at the Mizul Eco Resort. Too many of those, and we'll be looking for Pteralidia iathena. It's a stunning marine subject. It's a nudibranch like the one we looked at, and you've got to go swimming to see it. And if you don't see one of them, take a picture of a mandarin fish, Synchropus splendidus, which is gorgeous, and you see it at dusk, but you've got to be underwater. Head back to the eco resort and have an ikan bakar. It's not a local beer, it's a grilled fish, just like the barramundi was, typically served with sambal, chili paste, and steamed rice. Yeah, it's fish and rice. 14, Namibia, going to the desert. Namib Desert on day 27. We'll get there before the midday sun so we don't miss a second of it, and we are going to stay at the Sosuvlai Desert Lodge, and we're there after Onimakris Ungui circularis. It's the fog basking beetle. It's a beetle that harvests water from the desert by waiting for fog. Now, I have never actually spent much time in a real desert of any size, but I'm pretty sure that they don't get a whole lot of fog there. They get a whole lot of sun, but you don't just think of fog. I just don't think of fog. Well, yep, and this is what you'll see. You'll see a beetle with his head in the sand, which is exactly what I would do if I was waiting for fog in a desert. All right, there is a backup subject, but they were really scraping the barrel for this. It's lichen fields. There are patterns and textures of desert lichen. It's the only other thing alive out there, and it's good for abstract photographs. So is sidewalk. So, okay, for dinner, kapana. Grilled meat, usually beef, could be anything, so ask. Cooked over an open fire and served with salsa. Yum yum. One more trip and we're home. We're going to pop over to India for the last day 29. Our photography window is morning through late afternoon, and we are going to be staying at the Taj Madikeri Resort and Spa, and we are there to shoot Parco Blatta Americana, and I am not kidding you. ChatGPT has me flying to India to photograph the American cockroach. That's all I can say about that. And I'm just not kidding. That was the recommendation. The backup subject is a Calotes versicolor. It's a lizard. Yeah. You know what? This has been a shockingly disappointing. I no longer feel the need to travel the world. Do you? It looks like, yeah, this thing looks like a lizard too. Just a spiny looking lizard. I'm not even going to show you the picture. Do you want to see what Parco Blatta looks like? It'll be the last thing I show you. This will be what stays in your memory when you're thinking in your elder years that it's time to go off and visit all these places in the world. Just don't even bother, because the best that the AI is going to come up with for you to spend your 30 days traveling the world will be so that you can take photographs of the thing that you spend $500 a month trying to get rid of from your house. Dinner is going to be worthwhile before you leave, and it doesn't have any cockroaches in it. Masala dosa. It's a crispy rice and lentil crepe filled with spiced potato, chutney, sambar, and it's a traditional Indian breakfast, and it sounds delicious, and I am so ready to be home. That was 30 days of progressively more disturbing misery, and I'm never going to do it again until the next time somebody offers. I'd do it. Wouldn't you do it? It would be fun. Be expensive. What did you guess? Did anybody guess? There's everybody falling asleep. I know we ran over. I'm sorry about that. This was just too much fun to quit. Let me see what folks have said, if there's anybody left. My goodness. Yep. Russ said tap the like button. David said if you don't tap the like button, I'll play Sweet Thang, which I will. What? Alan has never been to a desert. The Sonoran Desert averages 25 degrees Fahrenheit. No. I have never been to a desert. I suppose I should. I thought they were hot and sandy. That I don't like hot or sand, so I haven't gone. I'll go just so Joseph doesn't make fun of me. All right. So Larry Strunk had a friend who claimed to have seen Cthulhu, which is an H.P. Lovecraft monster, while he was working in the North Sea oil fields during some rough seas. Had he been drinking at all, is the first question I'd ask. Alan and his weevils, says Russ, in an appropriately disgusted tone. Yeah, I'm bad for weevils. Got a thing for them. Guys, we are so late, and I've gone 6 minutes over, which is strictly against the rules. That started out seriously as what I thought would be just a mind-blowing experience, and it really did just get more and more ridiculous as I went through it. And the more I tried to coax good answers, the crazier some of the suggestions that I got. Did any of that sound like fun to you? The nudibranchs would be fun, and yeah, a bit of the goat stew might be nice, but that was on day one. That's not going to keep you going for a whole month. Anyway, if you thought that was bad, wait till Thursday, where I am going to give you pointers on how to really, really trash a foreign holiday. Yeah, no doubt about it. It'll be the most awful time you ever had if you do just one of these things. Do all 10 of them and you'll never come home again. So yeah, that's what we're doing on Thursday. On Saturday we have a Pazoom for those of you who are Patreon members. If you're not a Patreon member, it means you don't love me, and if you want to remedy that, go over to Patreon. Just say, okay, he talked me into it, what do I do? And they'll show you where to sign, and they'll take your money. Not all of it, just a small amount. They'll keep most of it and then give some of it to me so that I can buy food and water, things I need for the channel. That's it. That's the whole deal. And then I think of you as my hero, and I say it every chance I get, and life is good. So that's Pazoom on Saturday, and there is no other thing this Saturday. There is no tangent because it's not tangent week, and there's no after stack because we've already done after stack last weekend. The video was put up today, yesterday, over on, you know, the thing, Discord. So that's it. That's the whole week in a nutshell. I'll see you guys later, and let me go make sure the jet's all gassed up because I'm heading off to, I don't know where I'm going, some desert tomorrow. I'm not. I'm staying right here as usual. See you guys on Thursday. Take care. Be well. Without my glasses, I can't even see the big blue button that says stop streaming.